Good evening and welcome wherever you're watching all around the world to TipKings, a product of Race Vault. Tonight in the studio, I have the esteemed Greg Watson, who you probably recognize because he's been giving us a lot of winners on Facebook. So in your top right, you've got Greg Watson. To the left of me, you've got Dave Staffy, and in the top left corner, you've got Gabriel Khalil. So tonight we're going to discuss a new product that we are launching. It's called TipKings. So we've rounded up the best analysts from the four corners of the globe, America, UK. We've got analysts from South Africa and we've got analysts from Australia. And we are going to give you daily betting structures. We are going to create a private elite tipping group just for clients of TipKings. So I'm just going to give you guys a background on who's in the studio with me. So obviously we got Greg Watson from the United States. He's well versed. The season is in full swing. So we got the Breeders' Cup coming up. So there's great racing to look forward to coming up through the American season up until the Breeders' Cup. Then I've got Gabriel Khalil, who is the self-proclaimed greatest tipster in the world. I'm sure Dave will agree. We get to hear about it every single day of our lives, how great Gabriel is. And then obviously a man who needs no introduction, Dave Staffy, the creator of Form Grids. We are so grateful to have a form study tool like Form Grids that we get to utilize every day, and it makes our lives easy as analysts. So welcome, and I'm going to allow Gabriel to kick us off and tell us what he has in store for us.
Good evening, guys. How are you? The way I look at racing, daily punting, weekly punting, monthly punting. Let's cater for everyone. So I like to look at racing my way, and I'm a specialist tipster. There's big players out there that deserve to know that they can put 100,000 Rand on a horse and it will win. You know, you get the jockeys, trainers, whoever, these so-called great tipsters on teletrack or whatever. They talk in circles. People want to know, can you put your hard-earned cash on this horse? Will it win? And that's not a very easy thing to do. But I've been specializing in it for 10 years. Any monkey can tip a horse at even money. But can you do it consistently throughout the month? So I would be part of this team tipping specialist horses where you can go get loans, where you can rob a bank. You put it on the horse, you wait 3 minutes and you go collect. There's no excuses. I do have a 90% record. And people need to pay for this information, for our expertise, how we see the racing. And, you know, if you're a smaller punter, we'll cater for you. It depends on how you structure your bets and stuff. There'll be a bet for everyone. So I think this is a great concept. I mean, we'll have David Staffy, Greg Watson. David's brilliant. He's always been. There's a few other guys that I can't mention now. But I'll be specializing in nuking the bookmakers once a week, twice a week. You can't do it daily. But we'll have specialists that do daily infos and so forth. So I think this package is really worth taking for a punter, especially a punter that's serious and puts big money on. But like I said, we cater for the smaller guys as well. There'll be exotics, bar pots, jackpots, daily. I mean, I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this product. So that's how I see this growing.
I think it's going to be great. Dave Staffy, what do you have to say to Gabriel Khalil? Who's the real king?
Time will tell. Time will tell. But this is a great concept. I'm very glad, hopeful to join you guys because, you know, the betting public will get much more involved where they see they can actually make a profit out of horse racing. If you get the right kind of guidance from Gabriel and Greg, and I'm not saying myself just yet because I said I will look at it and I will agree to try and assist. But as you know, I'm so busy with Form Grids and the updating and the upkeep of Form Grids which is already a great tool, which helps the punters, helps the tipsters. So I don't know the time that I will have on my hands to devote myself fully to this, but I will certainly be following Greg and Gabriel and everybody else involved that are doing the tipping. And I think this is a great, great thing you guys are doing, and long may it run.
He definitely got something wrong. He said I'm the best tipster in the world, or self-proclaimed. I'm not the best tipster in the world. I'm the best tipster in the universe. I'm the best tipster that has ever been born. And the public will see. Ever born, boys. Ever born.
I want to pay just to see that. That's it's our product, but I want to see what he's got going. Very
Sometimes I even pay myself. That's how good I am. That's how good I am.
Greg, what do you got to say to that?
He is the best tipster in the universe right now. I'm just shooting for the best in America right now. That's what I'm focused on, is American racing. With TipKings, you're paying a premium price, and you're going to get our premium picks. We're going to give you the ones that we keep for ourselves. I'm going to bring my 32 years of handicapping into this and find us winners. As Gabriel said, they're not going to be every day. They might just be once a week, twice a week. We're going to get you the ones that are going to cash. That's the important thing, is having the customers cash tickets.
Correct. So I've been following Greg Watson for the last week, and he has about an 80% record, which is phenomenal. I never ever follow other tipsters. He caught my attention. He's been spot on. I think it's like 10 tips, 8 winners, and all good prices. So he's right up there with the best. I've got to tell you, Greg.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we gave out sovereignty on Saturday. Couldn't believe we got 2-1 on him. He won by 4.5 links. It wasn't even close.
No, brilliant, brilliant. And you know what? What I like is that you've given the South African public a taste. You came and asked me to give 1 or 2 out for free, because there was one in particular where your confidence levels were 10 out of 10. And you said, you know what?
That was
to the guys.
Saturday,
enjoy this one. Yep. Same day, yes. You had the 2 winners that day.
The free pick stumbled at the gate and still went by them like they were sitting still at the end.
Still won. It was beautiful to watch.
I listened to the race replay again, and the announcer actually said, "This isn't even fair."
But you see, guys, this is what we aim to achieve here. When I look at a race and I want to give it to the public or tell a guy to put 50, 100 on, I look at A, B, and C. What if it jumps slow? What if it races wide? What if the jockey is a muhu on the back? I have to look at all those things, and it still must win. So if it doesn't appeal to me with ABC, there's no point in going to back it, because things go wrong.
And you also have to take into effect track bias on certain days, because even in South Africa, on the poly, you get it especially. Some days it's all closers. Some days it's all horses that go to the front. And we have the same over here in America. Some days Saratoga is playing from behind, everybody's coming from behind on the outside. Some days it's, if you get to the rail, it's gold.
Correct.
Well, that's the beauty. So the clients will be connected to us via WhatsApp. So we'll be able to give out information when we are 100% certain, track condition, weather, scratchings, the whole lot. We're going to take everything into account, and we'll communicate with the public throughout the course of that day leading up to the races, so that they're not in the dark. They know where we're sitting. So almost like basically they're tapping into our brains. And the beauty is we've got so much like tools at our disposal. Like Greg will know South African racing. He's teaching us USA racing. And then you bring form grids into the mix where everything's available to us. It makes studying so much easier. We got the times, we got the replays, we got the runs. You can go into any run in that horse's career, and you can pick up where it finished, who was behind it, who came out and won. All the details. Dave's left nothing for guesswork. So it really makes our lives easier giving winners to the public. So I'm excited about this little venture.
I was very upset with Dave for releasing form grids because there was only a handful of us that knew about it. And it was like clubbing seals with the bookmakers. It was like clubbing seals. So that product is worth millions, billions. It's. I don't know how people actually ever backed horses before form grids. Honestly, it
You
does
see,
everything for you.
Gibbs,
Sorry?
the reason I put it out there was because, as you can recall, in the 90s, I was called onto the program Open to Question where Nico Kritsiotis interviewed me. And the question was, are you fixing horse racing? So, it wasn't a nice thing. Wherever I went, I was like infamous or notorious, whatever you'd like to call it. And everybody thought that I was fixing results because, it was unusual for someone to keep winning. And as Nico pointed out, they were huge bets in the mid-90s, which was sort of unheard of at the time. And
Wow.
eventually, I decided, let me just get the tool out there. So one day after I developed it, I took a drive to Mike de Kock's yard to go and show him the tool and get him to introduce it to the industry because, like I say, I was notorious and I knew anything coming from me wouldn't be well received. And Mike wasn't there that day. I spoke to Charles Pretorius and, eventually I couldn't get hold of Mike. So I launched it and it's been 22 years already. The site's been going. In fact, now on the 23rd of August, it's our 22nd birthday.
That's amazing.
Right.
Well done. It was well ahead of its time. It's a product that really is unmatched. I mean, many have tried to copy form grids and failed dismally. It is the most comprehensive tool that you can use, whether you're a trainer, whether you're a jockey, whether you're a handicapper, whether you are a professional punter or just a layman on the street looking for some form.
This is the point I'm making. People don't have the time, like Dave said, to utilize these tools to watch racing, to guarantee themselves profits. So use us, give TipKings a full go, put your trust in us, and I promise you, 6 months down the line, you might make a statue of me and pray to me in your bedroom at night.
So tell us, in the upcoming months, there's obviously a lot of exciting things to look forward to in the States. So what can we expect going into the Breeders' Cup?
Well, right now we have Saratoga is raging right now. They're about mid-meet. They still have about 3 weeks left. We're going to have the opening of Belmont Park coming up after Saratoga. Belmont Park's been closed for major renovations for the last 2 years. So it's, real exciting that they're getting back on. And from what I'm learning after Sovereignty's win in the Whitney on Saturday is that he's heading to the big race, the Jockey Club Gold Cup, in which he's set to face Forever Young. I'm sure you guys know that horse. So that's going to be exciting. You'll also have, come September, Churchill Downs will be opening up. And then the master of all meets, my favorite meet, Keeneland, opens up around the 1st of October, runs through to Breeders' Cup because the Breeders' Cup is actually at Keeneland this year. So 3 sparkling tracks to look forward to. We also have the West Coast racing going on. You got Del Mar going on right now. So there's a lot of, your Breeders' Cup win and you're in qualifying races. That'll switch over to Santa Anita, I believe, around October. Around the same time Keeneland opens up, you'll get Santa Anita running too. They're going to have, obviously, some Breeders' Cup prep races too. So everything is pointing towards the Breeders' Cup, which is October, I believe, 30th and 31st this year.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Greg, as you mentioned, I've been to Keeneland.
Beautiful track.
Yeah, I worked for Charlie Whittingham in California at Santa Anita in 1985. Then I worked for Glenn Wismer in Tampa Bay Downs. And I spent a year in the USA in the horse racing industry. So as you mention those names, I can just picture that whole beautiful atmosphere. The Americans love their horse racing. It reminded me so much of South African racing here in the 80s where, courses were full. People always went to the track and enjoyed the racing. So South Africa's been through a little bit of a dip where we had a corporate company by the name of Pumalela running our horse racing for maybe, I think could have been about 16 years or so. Been in the hands of corporates, it declined. And then the Oppenheimers, Mary Oppenheimer and her daughters, they stepped in and basically saved South African racing by putting their own money into fund the sport, keeping everybody employed and saving the breeding industry. And then the Hollywood guys, Owen and his son Devon, have come to the party in a major way in the other side where we have coastal racing, which is Kenilworth, Durbanville, and Greyville and Scottsville. So luckily for South African horse racing, we had those two great families that stepped in and put their money right into the game.
Greg Bortz has done a wonderful job of rejuvenating the Cape Town racing.
Yes, Greg climbed in. I'm not sure of his whole participation, but I know he done wonders with his team. I think Justin Vermaak heads the team, Coastal Racing, and they, as far as I know, are together with Hollywood. But, these guys have really stepped in and they actually saved hundreds of thousands of jobs, which equate to millions of mouths that they feed, So
exactly.
The industry here is trying to be rebuilt, and I appreciate what Christian and Gabriel are trying to do here, is to take experts who put the time in, like yourself, like Gabriel, like one or two others. Apparently the Australian guys also hot, and give the public a proper chance to make a profit. And once a guy sees that he can make money, I think the turnovers will boost, which is good for the industry.
Exactly.
Yes, with all due respect, Dave, the tipsters on TV, I actually put the sound off when they're talking. Not because they're bad tipsters, just because they go around in a circle. So as you started watching that race as a punter, you've heard of 14 horses, and by the time it comes to have a bet, you're so confused. There's nothing going on there for us. For the punting public,
you don't know if you're playing bingo or horse racing.
Yeah.
Take
a box with 15 horses boxed and a box trifecta with 11 horses. If you are a tipster and you regard yourself as a punter, give the public a horse to fire. I don't want to hear their stories and their long. This one, every horse looks good. They look good, right? That's a nice horse. Great. What has that got to do with us? How are we going to make money out of that's a nice horse? Come on, guys. This will change the game. We'll show everyone.
The worst of them all is will they get the distance? Every horse gets the distance. It's whether they get the distance fast enough.
Correct. They'll make it.
100%.
They'll all get there if they walk or if they run. It's just who's going to get there faster.
Correct.
So, listen, guys, in a nutshell, we're going to wrap up now. So, basically, we got Black Book Bob Elite in Australia. He doesn't tip often, but when he does, they run about 20-1, and they come home loaded. Last week he nailed one, so we look forward to that. The public just has to be patient. He doesn't tip every day. He waits for the bet to present. Then obviously we got Greg. Greg will be walking us through daily selections, but there again, the public have to be patient. When he's certain and he's got a 10 out of 10, he'll let you know. That's the horse you put your money on. And then obviously the rest of the team, we got the tote guy who's going to focus on exotics. And we got Gabriel, who's an absolute machine hitman. And we got form grids at our disposal. We like to thank Dave. We seem to have lost him. for coming on tonight's show. Greg, thank you very, very much. Look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you, Gabriel. And let's get the public some winners.
We'll get
Yeah,
them.
so I would say TipKings incorporates everyone, the small and the big. And our daily tipsters are very good. They found outsiders all the time. And, I think there's value to be had in the daily tipping as well as the specialized tipping. So we got a product for everyone. Join us and make money. I look forward to this, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.